Welcome in. December begins. 5 minutes with Sean, maybe 10. Thank you so much for starting your week, your month, everything off with us. We do appreciate it. So recently, the word commitment has come up a lot. I posted on Friday about commitment. I showed a video of some guys out in Lake Superior surfing. 15 degrees outside, 30 plus mile an hour winds. It was insane to see. And again, the word commitment came up, and I started to think you wouldn't go jumping in the water without real commitment. And not only commitment, but a plan, right? And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong when it comes to commitment, is they don't have a real plan to ensure commitment, is what I think. It came up I was at a basketball game recently with some buddies of mine, Joe Chambers, Zach Burkell, and so it was really interesting to sit and talk with service guys because that's not a part of the world that I've spent a lot of time in. But it's a part of the world that I have a ton of interest in, and I am probably the truest of a consumer in that space versus the front end. I don't buy cars like most people buy cars, but I service cars exactly the same way. Same process, online schedulers, whatever. Anyway, so we were all talking, and the word commitment came up in these conversations. Whether it was commitment to training a manager, training a new hire, whether it was commitment to, they were commenting, Joe was commenting on how we deliver, how we do our jobs here at CarBiz, and the commitment we have, and the time and effort it takes. And yeah, well, all that's true. The commitment is actually, to me, the easiest part, only because we have a plan to deliver on our commitment, right? Our commitment is to our clients, deliver their data on the date we said we would, period. Never to change, never to vary, never to miss. Doesn't matter what comes up in life, whether it's something crazy within our own households, whether it's being sick, whether it's any of it. The commitment is to the work. The commitment is to the delivery to the clients. That is the ongoing, always thought of commitment. And I think that a lot of people, when they think of commitment, we joke that, we have, guys have commitment phobia, right? Young guys. And I think the reason that we joke about it or we have any phobia around commitment is because we don't truly know what it's going to take to make that commitment. Well, marriage is a huge commitment for most people, and it's scary to a lot. And to me, it was never something that I worried myself about because I knew that the plan was to live this life with this individual, doing this, doing that, whatever the plan was. But there was a plan to the commitment. And so it makes it, to me, a lot easier. Now, I have a really big client who is famous for saying his company is outstanding at starting things, but they're absolutely terrible at finishing. And that comment has resonated with me for years because recently I read a report, basically corporations, less than 30% of projects get done over a given year that were planned at the beginning of the year for a multitude of reasons. But one of those reasons is it just falls off the radar. And I think that this time of year is the perfect sort of quintessential part of that because for the holiday season, everyone will ramp up their kindness. Everybody, for the most part, will ramp up kindness. But as soon as the clock hits January the 3rd, it's like all of that ended. And it's a new year with a new attitude. And we build up all this other stuff so that we can come back in December and be joyful and happy and all these things. But if you were truly committed to being a better person, then you would be incrementally working on that throughout the year. That is the same as to be said about a sales process, about a marketing campaign, you name it. Without a plan, your commitment will be very difficult to follow through on. Almost impossible to follow through on if you think about it, right? We're coming up in New Year's, right? New Year's resolutions, New Year's goals, what have you. Same thing. There's no commitment. There's no plan to that commitment. It's just, I'm not going to do this. Like when I quit smoking, I was a pain in the ass. I didn't quit smoking right away. I was still doing my own thing while my wife had stopped. But the reason for me was because I didn't have my plan in place because I only wanted to quit smoking once. I didn't want to go back and forth. I didn't want to have to play the games and this and that. I wanted to stop once. And I'm proud to say that's exactly what the fuck I did. But the only way that I could do it was to sit here and say, what is my plan? How will I do this? Besides saying it, Because frankly, saying shit is the easiest thing to do, okay? The easiest. There's nothing worse than someone who tells me a plan and has no real desire to actually live that plan out. Zero. Frustrates the shit out of me. I hear it all the single time. So when I came to smoking, it was like, look, gotta have a plan. What am I gonna do for the first 30, second 60, last 30? So 90 days total. How am I gonna get this done on the 91st day I wanna be done with it? And the 91st day came, done with it, because the plan worked. And I was committed to the plan. I was committed to finding another way forward. And that's really what I want to stress to you guys as we get ready to end Q4 here and wrap up 2023. Are you committed to A, closing the year strong, and B, having next year be as successful? So when you say, yeah, Sean, I'm committed. Cool. Let's go backwards a step. What are your plans to make both things happen? Take your time this week. Think about the word commitment. Think about what it means to you. And next week on the show, I want to talk to you about what we're going to do with more cars, less customers. Talk soon. Have a great week.